Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhirayet Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridantasto Yabrattani Vidnoti Suhitsatam Nashtaprayesha Bhatreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavate Uttam Shlokar Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 11, I believe. Chapter 13, verses 10, 11. What are the verses, Prabhu?
10 to 14, Prabhu.
Huh?
10, 11, 12, 13, and 14.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Verse 10. Jadandha Badironmatta Mukaktri Atanmati Lakshita Pathi Balanam Prashantarchir Iva Nala. Jada, foolish, andha, blind, badhira, deaf, unmatta, mad, mukha, dumb, akriti, appearance, atat, not like, that, pati, his intelligence, lakshita, he was seen, pati, on the road, balanam, by the less intelligent, prashant, calmed, archi, with flames, iva, like, anala, fire. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Utkal appeared to the less intelligent persons on the road to be foolish, blind, dumb, deaf, and mad, although actually he was not so. He remained like fire covered with ashes without blazing flames. Purport. In order to avoid contradiction, botheration, and unfavorable situations created by materialistic persons, a great saintly person like Jad Bharat or Utkal remains silent. The less intelligent consider such saintly persons to be mad, deaf, or dumb. Actually, an advanced devotee avoids speaking with persons who are not in devotional life, but to those who are in devotional life, he speaks in friendship, and he speaks to the innocent for their enlightenment. For all practical purposes, the whole world is full of non-devotees, and so one kind of very advanced devotee is called Bhajananandi. Those who are Goshti Anandi, however, preach to increase the number of devotees. But even such preachers also avoid opposing elements who are unfavorably disposed towards spiritual life. Text 11. Matvatam jadam unmatta mattam kulavriddha samantrinah vatsaram bhupatim chakrur yaviyasam brahmesutam. Matva, thinking, tam, utkala, jadam, without intelligence, unmattam, mad, kulavriddhan, vidha, the elderly members of the family, samantrina, with the ministers, vatsaram, vatsar, bhupatim, ruler of the world, chakru, they made, yaviyamsam, younger, brahme, of brahmi, sutam, son. Translation. For this reason, the ministers and all the elderly members of the family thought Utkal to be without intelligence and in fact mad. Thus his younger brother, named Vatsara, the son of Brahmi, was elected to the royal throne and he became king of the world. Purport: it appears that although there was monarchy, it was not at all an autocracy. There were senior family members and ministers who could make changes and elect the proper person to the throne, although the throne could be occupied only by the royal family. In modern days also, wherever there is monarchy, sometimes the ministers and elderly members of the family select one member from the royal family to occupy the throne in preference to another. Text 12. Swarvithir Vasaras Yestha Bharya Sutta Sad Atmajan Pushparinim Tigmaketum Cha Isham Urjam Vasum Jayam Swarvithi Vatsarasya of King Vatsara, Ishta, very dear, Bharya, wife, Asuta, gave birth to, Sat, 6, Atmajan, sons, Pushparnam, Pushparna, Tigmaketu, Cha, also, Isham, Isha, Urjam, Urja, Vasum, Vasu, Jayam, Jaya. King Vatsara had a very dear wife whose name was Swarvithi, and she gave birth to 6 sons named Pushparna, Tigmaketu, Isha, Urja, Vasu, and Jaya. Purport: Vatsara's wife is mentioned here as Ishta, which means worshipable. In other words, it appears that Vatsara's wife had all good qualities. For example, she was always very faithful and obedient and affectionate to her husband. She had all good qualities for managing household affairs. If both the husband and wife are endowed with good qualities and live peacefully, then nice children take birth, and thus the whole family is happy and prosperous. Text 30. Pushparanayasya prabhabharya dosha cha dve babhuvatu pratar madhyandinam sayamiti yasan prabhasutaha Pushparnasya, Pushparna, Prabha, Bharya, wife, Dosha, Cha, also, Dve, 2, Abhuvatu, were, Pratar, Madhyandinam, Sayam, Iti, thus, he, certainly, Asan, were, Prabhasuta, sons of Prabha. Pushparna had 2 wives named Prabha and Dosha. Prabha had 3 sons named Pratar, Madhyandinam, and Sayam. Text 14. Pradesho Nishito Vyusta iti dosha sutastraya Vyusta sutam Pushkarinyam Sarvatejas Madhade. Pradosha, Nishita, Vyusta, Iti, thus, Dosha, of Dosha, Suta, sons, Traya, 3, Vyusta, Sutam, son, Pushkarinyam, in Pushkarini, Sarvatejasam, named Sarvateja, all-powerful, Adade, begot. Dosha had 3 sons, Pradosha, Nishita, and Vyusta. Vyusta's wife was named Pushkarini, and she gave birth to a very powerful son named Sarvateja. This verse has no purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padkamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidamscha Vita Raghunathan Vidantam Sajivam Advaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vidamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhakti Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve Srimad Bhagavatam and throw some light on these verses. This chapter is entitled The Descendants of Dhruva Maharaj. So we started with Utkala. Utkala is the elder son of Dhruva Maharaj, and following that is Vatsara. So Dhruva Maharaj's elder son was not made the king. Instead, the other son, Vatsara, was given the throne, because although Utkala was a very qualified person, but he was practically not interested in material affairs, and he projected himself like a person who is, appearing to be dumb, deaf, blind, without any care for anybody else, although he was a wealth of spiritual qualities. But for the ruling of the kingdom, Kshatriya kingdom, you require leadership, you require courage, all the Kshatriya qualities. Courage in battle, one who can give protection to the general population. So those qualities were found in Vatsara, and consequently he was the one who was made the king. And then the dynasty continued with him having children and their children having children, and so on and so forth. The dynasty is discovered. So these are verses that are important from a point of view of understanding how the world has come about in today's time. And we can trace back the history from starting with ourselves or from our children back to Sri Krishna, back to Brahma, and from Brahma to Krishna, Vishnu, and eventually to Krishna. So there in between, there are two things that happen. One is that there is the Vishnu Tattva, expansions of Lord Krishna, and then there is the Jiva Tattva. So Jiva Tattva is the general population of the world. And among Jiva Tattva also we know that there are, Nitya Baddha and there are Nitya Siddha. Also, Nitya Siddha are the ones who come of their own sweet will, or if directed by the Supreme Lord, to perform welfare activity for the society, for the population in general, for the betterment of the society. And then we also understand from Krishna, Yada yada hi dharmasya gilanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So we also understand that Krishna also appears from time to time, or his powerful incarnations appear from time to time to bring about the necessary changes, or to root out the bad practices and to re-establish the principles of religion. So all those things throw light upon the the way the society has to be conducted. So here we see Utkala not interested in ruling or projecting himself like a mad person. We have this example from Srimad Bhagavatam itself about Jada Bharat, who enlightened King Rahugana, even though he appeared to be a dull and mad person. But he enlightened Rahugana in the spiritual science. We also have the example of Rishabh Maharaj, from whom the dynasty or the spiritual science of Jainism started. Rishabh Maharaj, he was also projecting himself. So such personalities, they were projecting themselves because they were not interested in talking to non-devotees. They were talking to, but they were basically a mine of wealth, of spiritual qualities, spiritual knowledge. So sometimes you find that, analogically speaking, a big, nice piece of diamond hidden in the coal mines, buried under the ground. However, nobody can notice such things, and unless it is extracted, sometimes it is broken, and then the shine of the diamond is discovered, and then everybody's recognize that, oh my God, there is such a big diamond that was there, which is so valuable. So the condition of Utkala was something like that, a diamond, a jewel, but hidden. So sometimes also Supreme Personality of Godhead also comes as a Channa avatar, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But through the association of very intelligent sannyasis and yogis, they are able to study his characteristics and determine that yes, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And whenever such things happen, there is a particular mission. So Mahaprabhu came to deliver this world and to give those important instructions in the form of those 8 verses, Sikshashakam, and also to inaugurate the movement of Yuga Dharma, which is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that's what the purpose is. So to inaugurate. But those were all external purposes. His internal purposes were very well hidden. Only a few people could understand. Those who were very, very close to him, like Swarup Damodar, Ramananda Rai, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So his internal one was to relish. There were 3 karan as Chaitanya Charitamrita mentions. So he wanted to relish, because as in Krishna, when he descended as Krishna, he had Radharani, association of Radharani, and association of the gopis, and he himself. So, there are 3 things. So he wanted to relish the feelings that Radharani relished when she was with him. And then he wanted to also relish his own beauty. So what did Radharani see in his beauty, in his figure? And then he wanted to relish the feelings of the gopis. So those are the internal reasons. People have to read Srimad, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita to understand the real purpose, the internal reason for Mahaprabhu's descent. So in summary, the reason is that we should not condemn a person, or we should not condemn any person for that matter, knowing fully well that it could become an aparadh. It could become a very big offense. So we need to be careful, no matter which religious denomination that person is from, unless it is very clear that such persons are not really spiritual. But even then, a devotee is not inclined to condemning or criticizing anybody. Anybody who are from any religious denomination, or anybody who may externally appear, because externally somebody may appear like uh, like a dumb, deaf, blind person who does not care for what you are speaking or what the world speaks, but internally he may be like a a, a realized soul. So, or even like supreme personality of Godhead. So so our disciplic succession teaches us not to condemn anybody, not to criticize anybody, whether devotee or non-devotee. So with this, I will stop. Thank you very much for joining in, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to serve Srimad Bhagavatam. Please forgive my shortcomings. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.